Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be discussing a few songs from the country Turkey or Turkey, however you pronounce it these days, after the name change. They have been quite a powerhouse in Eurovision regardless of anything else. That's at least according to my opinion. I think there are quite a lot of good songs that I want to be talking about today. And of course, Turkey have not participated since 2012, which is a massive shame, but I think everyone's kind of familiar with the reasons as to why that is, so we don't need to delve into that. Let's just say that I would really like them to return at some point very soon. We will start by discussing the song that they participated with in 1993, which is an odd one. I think we can all agree on that one. It's very unique for its own little style, and I don't really know what their intention was. It feels like they're kind of created like a little bit of an inside joke that everyone doesn't really like. You just look at it from the outside, and you don't really get the joke. But at the same time, there's like a little bit of charm in it. It's a solid performance. It's kind of catchy, but at the same time, I don't really get the purpose of it, and I guess that kind of where it's falls flat for me personally. So I like it, but I think that's kind of the fair category for me to put this song in. I think the same can kind of be said about 1995. Well, not at all, not the same words, but kind of where I land on this song. It's a solid little ballad, has a memorable hook, good vocal performance, but doesn't really grasp my attention all too much. So it kind of just goes on for 3 minutes, and then due to it participating in 1995, I kind of feel like there are so many other songs that I would just rather get to than having this one in the middle of everything. But solid. It's a solid effort. I don't really have any problems with it at all. It's competent. It's well put together. Just doesn't interest me that much, and I guess that's where it kind of pales in comparison to other songs from 1995 and other songs from Turkey, because things will get better. 1996. Just this whole haunting kind of atmosphere and mystique that this song has. I love that part of it. Doesn't really have like this attention-grabbing section in the song at any time, but it just kind of ponders on in a very calm mood. I like the rhythms that it stacks onto the song. The vocal melody is nice. It's well performed, well sung. Really great. I think that's probably a fair assessment from my side to put this song in, because things will just get better for the same artist the year following, of course. Dinley is a classic. It is among the greatest Eurovision songs of all time. I truly believe that. Just such an infectious hook that really just sticks to the head the first time you hear it. Kind of feel like the abrupt change between verse and chorus in this song is a bit odd, but it just kind of works within the charm of this song at this point, because you just kind of got used to it. The verses are really enigmatic, exciting, interesting, and then the chorus is just this really addictive hook that just sticks to your head. I think it's a flawlessly put together song. It's sung incredibly well, great performance, just among the greatest. I would definitely consider it to be that. 1998, it's not really like Turkey are kind of going backwards with their song. I mean, they are, because this was the pinnacle of songs they could have sent. But in 1998, this is another fantastic one. Wow, I love the vocal performance in this. Love the structure of the song. The drama is really there. I think maybe some people could consider it a bit melodramatic or over the top, but I'm just living for that. I think it's really palpable. It really grips me. Love the movement in the orchestration behind the vocals. And the vocals are just kind of piercing through. They're this constant force of just kind of delivering the drama that's really being established by this grand orchestration behind it. Beautiful structure in the song. Love the instrumentation. Love the vocal performance. I think everything's just great. Passionate performer as well. It just really works. Everything clicks. I think it's fantastic. Really suits my style of music as well. So that's always a plus, you know. 1999. This very ethnic type of more upbeat, danceable song, which I'm kind of fond of. I think this one is pretty solid. It doesn't really interest me all too much, but I think it goes on quite nicely. Doesn't really do anything that I have a problem with. It's just competent songwriting. It's a nice little backing track to this song. The vocals are all right. decent performance. Everything just kind of clicks with this one. It's very to its own style, and it definitely stands out because of that. So I think that's really its main strength. And the same thing I think kind of goes with 2000. I think these two songs are very similar to each other. Maybe they're not for someone who's more familiar with the type of music. But for me, they kind of get grouped together because they're both competent. They're both ethnically quite strong. They really stand out among competition because of their own identity. It's just that the songs don't really interest me all too much. I don't get invested into them. But at the same time, I really just enjoy them for when they're playing. I think it's 3 minutes of pretty solid entertainment, and then I can move on to the next thing without really thinking anything poorly of what I just heard or saw. So I think those both belong in the solid category. Sorry for grouping them together if you think they're basically one is up here and one is down there, you know. 2001, I think this is it's really great. I'm actually almost tempted to put it up here because I just love this whole passionate type of song. I'm actually going to put it in Fantastic because it's kind of in the same vein as 1998, but it's more like romantic inspired. It's more mellow at parts, but then it also has these grand, really hard-hitting, heart-wrenching sections as well. So it has a bit of both, and I really just love that combination of things. I think the song is flawlessly written. It just has this structure and flow that's really awesome, and I'm loving it. I think the performance is great as well. The vocals are incredible in this song, so just think it's fantastic altogether, really. 2002, I don't think is fantastic. I think this one is kind of off-putting. Don't like the performance. It's so awfully 2002, I guess, with like just how everything looks and how everything sounds. It's an alright piece of music, maybe. You know, it has this kind of ethnic tone to it, so I mean, it stands out because of that. I just kind of don't really like the way it's performed. I think the hook is kind of monotonous. It's uninteresting. I think they just did this better in both 99 and 2000. So I'll put it down here because it's simply not for me. I would turn this off in an instant if I ever ended up watching or listening to it. So sorry, but that's just how it is. 2003, Everywhere That I Can, fantastic. Just this infectious beat that it has. Love the instrumental. Chorus is memorable. Incredible performance. Everything just works with this one. It's so typically Turkish as well. It just really works. Everything, I just instantly associate everything Turkey related to this, and maybe that's wrong of me, but this is just what I think of when I think of, you know, Turkish music. If I just hear that, this is the first thing that pops up in my head, and maybe that's wrong, I don't know, but just love it. I think it's very iconic and really has a striking identity to it. So yeah, fantastic. It's gonna get some company from For Real. Love this ska-inspired kind of hard rock type of music just being introduced to Eurovision. We don't get any of this, and maybe that's a good thing because sometimes ska can be just not my thing at all. Here it just works to a T. I think everything is flawless about this. So much energy, great performance. Love the inputs of the horns. Really think the drumming energy that the song has really just kicks in, takes over, really engaging. Vocal performance is strong. Loving the guitar arrangement. I think these hard-hitting riffs are really strong, and then how they move into the sections in both the instrumental breaks and the verses where it's more mellow and the horns take over. The vocals in the verses are really catchy, and I think it just has this complete soul identity of what it wants to be, and it really stands out because of it. I think it's perfectly put together. Simply fantastic. Great performance as well. I am actually tempted to put it at the top category, but I'm not sure if I actually will do that, because I feel like I kind of need to tone down maybe the amount of songs I put up here. I don't know. It's close though. 2005 is nowhere near it. Rini Rimi Lei, I think this is really obnoxious. I don't like it at all. Ambitious performance, I can see that, but this is just not my type of music. It's not my type of song. It's not my type of performance. Everything just kind of falls flat for me personally. If it's your thing, then that's awesome. It's just not my thing. Simple as that. I think the hook is kind of obnoxious. It's very monotonous and repetitive. The verses I don't think there's a cohesion to the song that much. Production-wise, it's not really that strong either, so I just think this kind of goes on for 3 minutes. I'm not interested in it. I think it's kind of just a bit messy, a bit incoherent. Yeah. Superstar is not really my thing either. I think there's a catchy hook in this. I don't really like the vocal performance particularly much about this one. I think the structure is a bit flawed, but the hook is catchy, the performance is ambitious, and I absolutely like it more than the two songs below it. And I think it's a better song from a songwriting perspective as well than these. But it doesn't really click with me, I've got to be honest with you, so I will put it down there. Shake It Up, Shake It In. This finished fourth somehow. It's kind of like, it's a very memorable song. I think the hook is really catchy. The instrumental beat has a really striking, like, just drive in it. I like the punchiness of it. The performance is kind of ambitious. It's fun. It's catchy. I just don't think the songwriting of it is all that great. It's not a very interesting song. It's kind of very one note, very uninspired songwriting. There's nothing really interesting going on, but the beat is well produced, the beat sounds good, it has a drive to it, the performance is ambitious. No, I think this is only solid. I wouldn't really go and place it anywhere higher than that, honestly. A catchy hook can only take you so far, I'm sorry. Something that has more than a catchy hook. Here comes my hard rock bias into the whole frame again. Delhi is one of my favorite songs of all time in Eurovision, and probably even maybe all time in any category. I think this is the perfect hard rock song in every area. The structure is incredible. Love the opening riffs to it, just how the energy kicks in right from the get-go. The drumming is intense. The guitar work is amazing. The different arrangements within the guitar is really striking. How the hard-hitting strumming works in contrast with the more higher-pitched kind of solo fretwork, and then how it moves into the verse. There's still like this energy pulsating through the bass, while the vocals become very not whispery, but kind of toned down, and still carries a lot of suspense and mystery to them. I think the vocal performance in this song is incredibly underrated. I think it's one of the most characteristic vocal performances I've heard in Eurovision, in all honesty. I think the verses work really well with this suspenseful tone. And then the chorus is just this hard-hitting, shredding with the guitar work, all-out power of a rock song. Just works great. The chorus is memorable. Like, the hook is really instantaneous in how it just grips to my ear. I think the instrumental behind it is flawless. The production quality sounds incredible. Even in 2022, the production quality of the song is insane. Love the ending of the song when everything just goes haywire. Doesn't really stick to the structure anymore. They just want to end it on like the whole biggest crescendo possible. So they just go haywire on every instrument. I love that part as well. And as well, how they staged it. It's a very suspenseful tone to the staging. And then how everything just goes chaotic at the end. Everything, like, they perform it very chaotically as well at the end. I think it's just the perfect package for a rock song. One of the best of all time, in my honest, humble opinion. Drum Tick Tick is also quite strong. I think this is a really great effort. I don't really think it's much more than that, because I think it kind of lacks with the same things as Shake It Up, Shake It In. It has a great beat, it has a memorable hook, but I don't really care too much for the type of music. I don't really care too much about the cohesion of the song. I think the verses are a bit on the weaker side. It has like a very instantaneous and kind of staccato-esque vocal melody, which is quite nice. But at the same time, I think there's also like this combination of different vocal styles within the verses that don't really match all together that well for me personally. But it's just a subjective opinion. Still think the hook is great. The performance is fantastic. It all just kind of weighs in together for me to put it in the really great category. Even though it's not my type of music, I still really admire the strengths of this song and the performance, and just how great of many aspects that it actually has. It's just also kind of unfortunate for me that it placed between two of my absolute favorite rock songs of all time, because We Could Be the Same is also among the greatest for me personally. There's a bias kind of pattern starting to form here with me and rock songs. I think I also placed Dark Side from Finland in the among the greatest category, and there are probably a few others I have also placed up here. I'm just a rock kind of guy, I guess. But We Could Be the Same is so creatively put together. I love the hip-hop influenced beats working together with this real hard rock drive that the choruses have. I think the opening is fantastic. This beat that the song has, it's really infectious, I think. great suspense in it, still very melodically engaging and a lot of energy into it, and how it leads into this more hard-hitting guitar riffs that really open the song. It's a great combination of styles, I think, which really just works. And then how it drops down into this more metallic, robotic kind of beat in the verses where the rapping kind of takes over. It's like a rapping vocal style, which really works. And then how that leads into the build-ups, which are more melodic, very varied. Nice tone in the vocal here as well. And how the song in the instrumental also progresses into the chorus. It's a very seamless and smooth transition all the way throughout. And then the chorus has a just fantastic hook. The melody is incredible. The chords work really well with it. The instrumental sounds fantastic. The song just kind of keeps this flow going of many great sections leading into each other. And then you have the breakdown towards the end where, the staging looks incredible as well. And then you have the robot thing in the background, doing the, what do you call it? With the sparks, whatever you call it. You know exactly what I'm talking about with how everything, the music dies and just becomes this really effective kind of dramatic toned down section, which then leads into the final chorus very engagingly. I think with the drumming just picks up, the energy is being established, just works really well. And then the final chorus, everything just kind of comes together. The vocals are really just driving all the way throughout. I think the vocal performance is incredibly strong here as well. And the staging is, of course, fantastic. I mean, you all probably already know that. Love this song to bits as well, so yeah. And then they kind of tried to do the same. This is so unfortunate. They kind of tried to do the same thing again. I mean, they have sent 3 rock songs prior to this. All 3 of them have been amazing. And then they send one which is not. Simple as that. Doesn't really have the energy. There's a melody in here which I think is okay. The B section of the chorus is probably better than the A section. But still, it's just an uninteresting rock song, unfortunately, for me. Staging is also kind of ambitious with the whole cage in the background, but it just doesn't work. The song doesn't really have enough impact. It doesn't have any drive. It's just lacking in many aspects. You can't just throw in a bunch of guitars and drumming and call it a strong rock song. This is just more lenient, laid-back rock, kind of in the same vein as Bulgaria was in 2022, I guess. Just not interesting. Melodically, it's somewhat interesting, but no. This is a not for me, honestly. I don't connect with it at all. And I think just the disappointment of it kind of just elevates my frustration with this song. It's unfortunate. At least they went out on a high, because Love Me Back is one of my another one of these songs which really has its own character and identity to it. Love the staging performance. The stage performance of this song is incredible. It's just so infectious to watch. I get addicted to it. The chorus melody is really memorable. It kind of just gets enhanced by the vocal style that this guy has. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names when it comes to Eurovision songs. But yeah, the vocal style really stands out. Works really well with the type of instrumental that this song also has. I think it's a nice combination of things. It's very its own thing, which just really works. And then you have the staging, which just kind of strengthens all of the strengths that the song already has. I think it's a really well-packaged song and performance and entry altogether. Really, really went out on a high, I think. I think the instrumental here is also incredibly exciting and interesting. It's one of these where you can just kind of narrow it down and really take out the different sounds and different instruments. The sound design sounds great. The production quality is still fantastic to this day. Just really works. I like it a lot. And the structure is kind of taking you on turns back and forth. Like the little breakdown section at the end with the "Sing With Me, My Children" part. It's just charming, catchy, and fun. And I really think it kind of ticks all of the boxes there. And that is my tier list for Turkey in Eurovision. I would have liked there to be more songs, but as you can kind of see on the pattern on screen, this is a country that I'm quite fond of in Eurovision. And I really do want to see them come back. And probably, or maybe, you do as well. And if you do, then you're free to tell me in the comments. Do also tell me what song I have underrated the most and what song I have overrated the most, because I'm sure you will have some things you disagree quite heavily with me on. That's all for now. There are only 2 more of these videos now. I'm not sure really when they will come up because my break is over. Sad. But I'll try and get them out some point soon, but maybe you'll have to wait. I don't know. Hope to see you soon again anyway. Take care of yourselves until then, and bye bye.